Hey guys, it's Oluchi for Ways Breakfast. Thanks for always tuning in. Our research has shown that you're probably not subscribed to our channel. What are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our latest content and stay in the loop with all things Ways. If the channel grows, it means more great content for you guys. So hit that subscribe button now.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? Hashtag Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Osaiwa Mesale, and today, yes, we have a full house. We have Mary, Lara, and NJ. How are you ladies doing?
Good, good, good.
Oh, we're starting with Mary. Your flowery, purple, peacocky, everything. What's up?
Nothing much. I'm okay. I'm good.
What's good? Nothing interesting for us.
Nah.
You
Just
sure?
riding the waves. Yeah.
You sure?
Very sure.
Lights, unko? Our lights.
There's no light today now. That's what it is.
How about you, Alero? How was your day? Yeah, we did episode 2 today.
Yes, we
it was
did.
Such a good
It was
conversation.
good. And then I started choking.
As in,
It wasn't funny.
Really?
Like as I was speaking, somehow some just entered my throat. Ha! It wasn't funny, and it caused like serious stress. That's why I wasn't. No, she wasn't sure I was going to be available for tonight because of how it went. But the show was really great. Again, I'm very excited about this journey.
It's a good show.
It's a very good show.
I love the conversations, and
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's really targeted. You know, they're talking about partnerships, and
Yeah.
they're talking about how people can leverage on relationships and build communities and become like partnership experts or whatever.
yeah.
So it makes sense.
So
I
this
like
topic
it.
was new job, my target.
So when you're just given that new job and they give you some kind of
Yeah.
unrealistic goals,
Because
I'm a victim of that.
yeah,
Really?
you should watch it.
I mean, give me the gist. Which one?
We can't mention the name, but yeah.
Why are you rolling your eyes?
Please, you should watch the show because we had that conversation, and
was
next
good.
week we're going to be having, continuing the conversation from an employer's point of view.
Standpoint,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's amazing.
Because this
And because
target-
we too, when we dey employ you, go tell us say you feel bring.
Yes, now you
yeah,
can
you
do-
fit
you
bring
can
moon,
do
come,
everything.
Come earth. You
It's
could
Nige-
feel bring.
it's
Yeah,
Nigeria.
people are the ones promising us now.
it's Nigeria.
You now promise finish now. We give you work. You cannot deliver. Why are you looking at me?
We should not promise you. Oh, you have to
Will you
interview
give?
their family.
Will you give?
They don't promise you.
Will you give?
So you are admitting it now that you people are not realistic with your
No, it's
promises.
not. Yeah, I don't know about the people
So
being
is I
realistic
believe,
or unrealistic.
I believe I'm enthusiastic about my abilities to be able to achieve set goals.
Then they achieve it now.
But economy also doesn't help.
Did you not think about the economy before you promise the employer?
But if and I won't make a promise.
That's why this one will turn am as hot topic now. We'll just change topic now. Why not start with una this evening?
Okay.
NJ, what were you saying? NJ?
Me? Absolutely nothing.
Okay, well, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm thanking God for life.
Lovely.
Not spending money, but it's okay. The Lord is helping us.
By the grace of God,
I was
we're
saying
going
to Mary that I need somebody in my life.
Right. Don't worry. God is sending
We
your
all
helper.
do.
It is well.
Your helper is
That
here.
was my response.
We all do.
Don't we all?
Before we get into the conversation, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, I mean, that's where you will find a Lero show because there's nowhere else. So go to the official Upgrade TV and click on the subscribe button, right? Like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Okay, even though the ladies are not ready for the conversation, we're going to talk about it. Tonight, we're going to talk about the cabinet reshuffle by the president, and we're wondering whether we as Nigerians were jumping from frying pan to fire with this new list, or is it going to really be a good move? Would we see certain kinds of changes in the with the reshuffling, right? So, and of course, it is To this light, here's what we found as today's quote. It says, "It is the definition of a feeble minister if he blames the civil service for not delivering his policies." Interesting, but I don't know how this quote applies to Nigeria, because again they've said it several times that barrack go. I mean, no, soldier go, soldier come, barrack remains, and they have likened the civil service to, or civil servants rather, to the barracks, right? I mean, ministers will come and go, but it is the people in the service that really we must, put our eyes on. I don't know if this quote really works to say that, it is feeble, right? It's a definition of a feeble minister if he blames the civil service for not delivering his policies. I don't know. I don't know if that applies, but here, let's take a break. When we come back from that break, we will see what we found in today's news. Thanks for staying with us. Now, World Development Information Day is observed annually on October 24th. It was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 1972 to promote awareness of global issues and to encourage the dissemination of information and knowledge regarding development changes, or rather challenges facing the world. The day highlights the importance of information in achieving sustainable development and aims to foster international cooperation in the field of information sharing. Now, various events, discussions, and campaigns are organized to engage communities and raise awareness about developmental issues, including poverty, education, health, environmental sustainability. I think this is a very good day, very powerful day. I've always said that information is very powerful. We need to be very careful the kinds of, information we disseminate. It's better you are quiet than say things that, can actually just lead to somebody else's either death or downfall or whatever it is.
Or even put yourself in trouble.
We must manage information.
Yeah.
We try to do that. Some days I'm not that I'm not that person that will want to manage information. I want to just say what is on my mind. But hey, we're learning every day. Madam Quieta, yeah. What did you find for us in the news today?
Okay. In the news, we have the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has confirmed that the federal government plans to raise value-added tax to 15%. But he clarified that the increase would primarily affect luxury goods. So he was speaking at the meeting during the ongoing IMF World Bank, and he explained that a bill currently before the National Assembly aims to gradually raise VAT on luxury goods, while essential items consumed by poorer and vulnerable Nigerians would remain exempt from VAT or attract a zero rate. Well,
I think it's a good thing. Unfortunately for the luxury people,
of course,
because it's not a.
Of course, you say it's a good
No,
thing.
no.
They will still buy. Don't worry. They can afford it.
Mary, I know you deal in luxury, but the truth is, the
Don't
person that
attack
can
me.
wait. No. I want to say so. I'm actually not attacking you. I want to try to understand why you say that it's a good thing. But the truth is, where we are in this economy, the person that can afford a luxury item, do you understand, is not part of the people that are having the challenges today. Unfortunately, people that cannot feed are the people that are really struggling. Do you get my point? So for once, they've done something right. Take out the taxes on commodities that are for the common man, put it on luxury items. So luxury that is the terminology, is luxury. It's not a necessity. Do you understand? That I don't have to wear an expensive wristwatch or drink, what's it called? All those what do they call them? Those who are names, not called in brand, maybe they don't call me. But you can't, I don't have to drink it to survive, right? I don't have to go to a fancy restaurant to survive. But I just need to eat basic food. I need to put fuel in my car. I need to drink water, clean water, and all of that. Those are the basic commodities that I need to survive on. So I said for once, I think this is a good step in the right direction, because if you're doing luxury, it means you're not part of the pool of people that are suffering in Nigeria. So yeah.
The luxury businesses, that are employing people. Okay, me now. If it's going to reduce my client list, whether we like it or not, because
People will not
they're
buy as much.
ultra high net worth and they're also high net worth. So people are going to rethink their decisions as well, and it's going to reduce, which is going to affect me as a business.
So let me explain that part for you.
Okay.
As it is right now, in all the cries that people have been crying, are people not still flying business class?
People
Have
are
they
still
changed?
going on vacation now.
Some people have not changed anything. Do you understand?
Have some airlines packed up, have some
Not
businesses.
that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Airlines, not that I'm aware of. Do you understand? I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I'm only saying. So
because the percentage of your clientele, of course, I get you.
Definitely, it's going to affect price. Just the same way it's going to affect poor people, the same way it's going to affect the rich people. Me, I'm only speaking from my own perspective. I get your point as well. But I'm also saying that it's going to affect us. We also have high custom duties bringing in these goods. And then now there's high VAT and tax. By the time you add all of that, the products are ridiculous. If we don't have people to buy it, or if we don't have the high net worth to buy it, then, I mean, why are we in business?
Maybe you can start thinking outside of the box.
I don't understand. I want to stay in luxury business. Excuse me.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
On that note, let's move on to Alero Boyo.
Okay, my own news is not so exciting. It's not exciting at all. 3 people die as helicopter crashes in Rivers State. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has confirmed a helicopter crash involving operated by East Wind Aviation. The accident occurred at approximately 11:22 a.m. on Thursday along the waterways near Bonny in the Atlantic, and fell into the Atlantic Ocean. While the helicopters was en route from Port Harcourt military base to the oil rig. At this point, about 8 people were on board on the aircraft, and they dipped into the water near the Bonny Finima in the Atlantic Oceans. And at this point, it can only confirm that 3 people have died, but it's about 8 people that were on board that flight. I'm really hoping that not everyone died, and I'm hoping that, I really don't know. This is a very terrible, tragic news.
It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it's quite
Let me
unfortunate.
check on somebody that I know.
A lot
Just
of things
occurred
have
to
been
me that-
happening like that.
Yeah.
Just in Bonny.
No, that goes to Bonny.
Yeah.
Somebody in Bonny.
And there was no emergency locator transmitter signal that was even
Wow, that's sad.
received. So it's
So
really
they can't
crazy.
even find
They
the
can't.
spot. They're just
they cannot.
searching within the perimeter.
Our
They
heart
fell
goes
into
out
the
to them.
water.
That's what I'm saying. So at least if you
And you know,
if you
they
have a
say that
locator,
helicopter crash is the most deadliest.
Because that one you will barely survive.
Sad. I just checked on please check on anybody that you know that, works offshore. Okay, NJ, your story.
I think my story is actually in very close to what we're discussing tonight. So I'm just going to do a run through it briefly. It states that Tinubu nominates Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu and 6 others as ministers. So President Bola Tinubu has nominated 7 new ministers in a major restructuring aimed at improving government operations. The appointment was announced in a statement issued by the presidency after the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday, the 23rd of October. There's a list, so the newly nominated ministers, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Minister of Labor and Employment, new Minister of State Foreign Affairs, which replaces, I think, Barrister Uju. And then also Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ministry of Livestock Development, and Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, and also Minister of State Education. So, President Bola Tinubu, he charged the newly appointed ministers to serve the nation, adding that all appointees must understand the administration's eagerness and determination to set Nigeria on a path of irreversible growth and invest the best of their abilities into the actualization of the government's priorities.
All right, so I think we'll touch on that when we when we go into the conversation. So just in line with the president, he has also restricted ministers, right? It says the official vehicles rather to 3. He downsized the security guards. So the president today restricted ministers, ministers of state, and heads of agencies of the federal government to a maximum of 3 vehicles in their official convoys. No additional vehicles will be assigned to them for movement. The president affirmed in a statement he signed today, titled President Tinubu issues new directive on reduction in cost of governance. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, who released the statement, said the cost cutting measure was announced today in a statement signed by the president. It says the president's directive, he's trying to make sure that, government expenditures are reduced. And the directive included reducing his entourage on foreign trips and from 50 to 20 officials. So if the president is traveling for foreign trips, it's no longer going to be 50 people that will follow him. It's going to be 20 people. And it says for local trip, he reduced it to 25 officials. Similarly, he reduced that of the vice president to 5 officials on foreign trips and 15 for local trips. In this directive issued on Thursday, Tinubu also ordered all ministers of states, heads of agencies to have at most 5 security personnel attached to them. What do you need the personnel for? I don't know. What do you need 5 people for?
The 5 people
security to one person. So what do you need 5 security personnel for? If you are doing your job and you are doing it well and people are listening, you don't need security. People will be loving you. People will be your own security. Well, I like this move because, again, remember that there was an outcry. We just didn't want to touch that story about the foreign trips, and they broke down how much the president had spent on foreign trips, you understand, so far, and the vice president. So now that we are seeing this, I'm seeing some level of, okay, maybe I don't know if it is accountability, but maybe it's just okay. Oh, this is what people have been shouting for. Okay, let us even see it. It's still fine. We will take it like that because it's still better than nothing. But when this cost is cut down, can we also take this further? How are the excesses that are made from this cost-cutting measures that have been taken? How are those excess money that will be gotten from that? What would they be spent on, and where are they going to? Yeah, I mean, it's just transparency. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hi, thanks for staying with us. Now, tonight on the show, we will be looking at the recent cabinet reshuffling, right? Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had reshuffled his 45-member cabinet, naming 7 new ministers and sacking 5 and reassigning 10 others to new portfolios. Now, the ministers of Finance, Defense, National Planning, and 2 junior energy ministers all retained their positions. Now, the reshuffle includes renaming the Ministry of Niger Delta Development to the Ministry of Regional Development, the winding up of the Ministry of Sports, and the merger of the Ministry of Tourism and Arts and Culture. Now, the recent reshuffle has also seen the appointment of Dr. Morufu Olatunji Alausa as the new Minister for Education, replacing Professor Tahir Maman. Dr. Alausa is a medical doctor specializing in nephrology, graduated from Unilag Medicine and Surgery, and has served as Minister of State for Health prior to his new role. While Professor Tahir Maman, now the former Minister of Education, is a lawyer and professor. He holds a Bachelor's of Law from the Ahmadu Bello University and MSc and a PhD from the University of Warwick. He was appointed Minister of Education on the 16th of August in 2023 and was then dismissed on the 23rd of October in 2024. His tenure was marked by controversies due to the introduction of, I mean, there are so many things, but one of them, again, introduction of age limit for tertiary admissions to 18, which faced significant backlash from educational leaders. Also, the Minister for, or rather the Ministry of Women Affairs has brought Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, who is recently the Minister of State for Police Affairs, to the forefront, succeeding Uju Kennedy, who is a lawyer and an entrepreneur with a Bachelor's of Law from the University of Nigeria and a Master's from University of Abuja. So tonight we'll be comparing this, the dismissed and the newly elected ministers. We're looking at it that, okay, from this cabinet reshuffling, there are so many others, right? But let's just put them one after the other. Are we, as Nigerians, are we jumping from fry pan, right, to fire? Or this is actually in a, this is a good move? For one, I myself.
You have a question.
You have a question? Go ahead.
So from what we've been reading and seeing out there, there's supposed to be like a public feedback system.
Yeah.
Right. That supposedly has influenced this. The question now is that how can we be sure that the public feedback system was what was used to make this decision, and what is the guarantee that this decision is a good one?
That's the question we're even asking, because you see, I like your idea of the public feedback system, because the public feedback system, I know that one definitely is directly linked to that education minister. Listen, I mean, I don't fight for this table. Even if he does not know me, I know you. You know, the thing is true, because for me, they were just some kind of obscene policies. We did the math when we were calculating the age for kids, 18. Yeah. You understand? We did the math, right? If a child enters, primary school, even at age 6, you finish at age 12, you go into the secondary school, 12 plus another 6. How is it possible that you're telling the child to be writing WAEC at 18? Does it even make any sense? So for me, it was just like, are you actually sitting down to see the reality of what is obtainable, like practicality? I've been watching one law something on Netflix recently. The thing just, they give me some legal terminologies, right? But I'm just saying to you that, I mean, if you go into a law court, it is facts. It's not sentiment, it's not emotions. Yeah. It is not how you feel. Whether you are saying, oh, children are not what's called mature enough to be in school, but hey, if you do the math, except you want to now start changing the laws completely to say, you know what, before you enter primary school, you have to be maybe age 8, because I don't understand how it was going to math up to writing WAEC at 18.
But I think they've reduced it now to 16.
No, he has even repealed it, because, I mean, it was a no-brainer. Yeah. That was like dead on arrival. So for me, that education minister in particular, you understand? I don't know the new education minister, but based on his credence, he's a medical doctor. And all, why can we not just find people that have been
in the education
people that have
sector,
run successful schools?
Yeah.
I mean, look, go to Pan Atlantic University, go to schools like Grange, Green Springs, Corona. They've been there for years, donkey years. Why are we not picking people within the educational sector
to be able
to be ministers in the educational sector? And now with this appointment, where the people, the stakeholders within the educational space, were they consulted before they just appointed, or were just still doing the same thing, appointing people that are loyal to us?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, let me throw it open.
So,
your thoughts?
Quick one. Which I'm even learning so much from this conversation. So the last reshuffle was during Olusegun Obasanjo's time. And according to the gist, the number of leaders that were selected at the time was based on, I mean, they have different styles. And now there's a reshuffle that is being done again. So there was not much difference from the people that Olusegun Obasanjo reshuffled at the time. The new leaders, they had their own styles, and look at where we are.
Buhari was quite safe when he with his ministers. I don't think did he even sack anybody? I can't remember.
But they're not from the same ministers that so. Obasanjo had.
No.
I think he selected his own. They always change.
No, so what I know, okay, Fashola's portfolio, there were 3. He dropped one, I think. He now gave him 2. But I'm just saying that the sacking, I don't think I saw anything like that within.
I don't think
I'm not sure. Beg history. Mona, pardon me. I don't like Nigerian news, but hey, we have to talk about it. But from this from this reshuffling, Angie, let me come to you. I mean, everybody here knows Uju Kennedy.
I think
so. I beg, give me.
I think for me that is one person that really surprised me, just seeing her on this list, because this is someone that I became a fan all of a sudden because of something I saw on social media. You know, she has been an advocate for the girl child, very vocal. You know, she takes action immediately. Any situation is reported to her, and she's like, I remember, I think the video that made her very popular in my eyes was they invited her for a conference. And the people that were there, I think they match up and they didn't tell her in time. So she felt like they were not properly, you know, ready to host that kind of event, because they did not have like either the right information, or they were not going about it the right way. And she won them right there on stage, and she was like, you know, don't try me, like, don't do something like this. If not, I'll come for you, that kind of thing. And then, you know, subsequently there have been, I think there was a story about a little girl that I think was raped by either a family member, and then she took it up immediately. So I've always seen her as someone, every time I see her on social media, she's an advocate for the girl child and advocate for women affairs. So it's quite surprising that I would see someone like her on this list. And, you know, there are so many ministers that we know, and we have never heard their voice. We don't even know what they look like. We can't even relate with them. But this is someone that I know that she was doing what she was put there to do. So I can't really place why she's on this list as those who were discharged. A lot of news on social media is saying because she didn't agree to be corrupt. So for whatever reason, for whatever situation, I don't know how she got on this list, but I don't think she's one of those people who deserve to be on this list. And that is my personal opinion, because if there's a counter argument, someone should raise it up.
Okay, so I said, you know, I've been watching Law Matter. Let's put the facts on ground.
Okay.
So do you think that some of the things that she did it in genuity, or she did it for the gram? Because again, a lot of the things she did, you know, it was really, really televised. It was trending. It was all over social media. You know, do you think she was genuine about the approach, you know, in tackling some of these issues, or she was, you know, I mean, let's just be factual. I don't want to be, because again, some have argued that she was too vocal for people's liking, right? That's why, you know, she was part of this list, because again, she had done so many things and said nothing is going to happen to her job, you understand? Almost like she was so sure that the president had her full backing in some of the things that she's done, only for us to come back and, you know, we're seeing, her being put on the list to be sacked, you know, or she's sacked, or whatever the situation is now.
Discharged.
That's sacked, the right thing.
Discharged. Honorably discharged. Because I know that she released the very nice, you know, very professional, thanking the president and everything. And I think that was a very mature thing to do. Now, when you come to social media, see, people are going to use every form of social media to propagate whatever they want to propagate, whether is intentional for a reason, whether it's to show off the good work that she's doing or the lack thereof. But is she doing something? Yes, she is. So if that is being televised, that is a good thing. If Nigerians feel that she was very vocal, all our silence, where has it gotten us? Right. So if you have people who are standing up and they're showing up on social media, that is supposed to be encouragement to other people. So I still can't understand it. It's overdue, no bad if it's done with good motive. Do you understand? And this is someone who has really, really tried to, as much as you've seen her out there, is for the good of the woman and the good stand of her office, which is women affairs. So replacing her with someone like Bianca Ojukwu, it's quite puzzling. Do you understand? This is someone who is very vocal about what she's doing, and she's fighting for a good cause. And replacing, I don't have any issue with Bianca, but I'm sorry, but I haven't seen what she has done. I haven't seen, you know, the fight for the female. Do you understand? I don't know her as someone. I've not heard her name in years. So I'm not following her works. I'm not coming out on social media. The things that she's doing.
The last time I heard anything about Bianca was the slapping.
I was going to say that.
Was the double slapping.
Do you understand? So,
you know?
Us now seeing her name, I don't understand the motive behind it.
So that's why I'm saying that. Are these things handouts?
Right.
Because I don't understand that a minister, because the role of a minister your minister is supposed to be someone that is like on top
Someone
of things,
someone
right?
that's coming to do
And
the
if you
work.
have a minister like Uju Kennedy that was really, really on top of things, I don't know how it is. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm asking that. Is it possible that what we are seeing, there's no real work that is being done? It's just, for the gram? Because I don't get it. But let us even look at, because again, apart from, I asked the producers to kind of put the old and the new and lay out what's it called? The credentials of the old, versus the new. Okay. So let us even see if there is a justification, just based on paper. So I know somebody like Jumoke, for instance, Oduwole. She had served at various levels from the previous government as a special advisor on ease of doing business. I think she's the person, Jumoke Oduwole. These pictures, they're mixing it up. I don't know who she's replacing.
So she is the current Minister of Industry.
So she's the Minister for Industry and Trade, but she served as the what's it called, the special advisor on ease of doing business. Then she then served with the current vice president as the special advisor on trade and investment. So I think is a right fit. I've kind of followed her ministry or her work, since she was appointed under Vice President Yemi Osinbajo during his tenure, right? Since she was appointed since then, and I think she's been doing an amazing work. But you see this ease of doing business, right? Where would they talk so? If you look at it, and everybody that has seen some of the policies and the documentations and all of that they have put on paper, right? People have said it that those things are amazing. Do you understand? Even Uti confirmed that, see, if you go through that document as a business person and you look at it and you see it, it is really, really great for if we want to follow the policies through and through. So you will know that at some point again, it's no longer maybe these people, whether they are intelligent or whether they can actually bring out great policies. It is implementation. There's still that factor in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So you can have all the best hands in the world. First of all, one thing, if their hands are tied, they're not able to do the job. Or if they even put in those jobs, they put it on policies and they need drivers to push those things and make sure that those policies work. Who are the people that would implement it? So these are like some of the things, because she has a good resume, right? Jumoke Odunowo, she has a very great resume. And, people that have worked closely with her over the years, because she's just been she's like Daniel, from one government to another. You understand? Because, of course, they must have seen that, this woman has something. So it is not about who is in power. I need her expertise and I need her to be on board. So that's why now she's, a nominee for the ministerial position. But let's take a break, right? When we come back from that break, I want to hear your thoughts on what you think. If you have any opinions on these new people, are we jumping into fire or we're still in the fry pan? Stay with us, we'll be right back. Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future,
yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, it's our ladies' night out, and we're having a conversation. We're comparing our outgoing ministers to the newly appointed ones in the cabinet, and we're asking, are we jumping from frying pan to fire? Please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-8038-4663. You can also call our phone line 07025007749 or 0701424220. Those are the numbers to call. Remember to turn off the volume of whatever device it is you're watching us from. Somebody sent a message on YouTube. Mohammed Ali Sensei. He says, who is the she? She believes in herself so much and she was shocked by T-Pain. I think he's referring to Uju Kennedy, right? It's so painful. Why am I laughing?
Nigerians can be bitter sometimes.
No.
But really, Yusuf, you guys know, say it's only God that you can be bragging with
Can
like
do
that. You can brag and say, the God that I serve, there's nothing he cannot do. You can see this one now. You say that nothing can change. And now it don't change now. It don't clear.
So what are we expecting from these new ministers?
So I mean, based on the fact that whenever a change happens, there's an expectation that something new would come from that change. From what I'm seeing now, I think some people are a bit excited about the tourism and youth development minister that was recently appointed. And for me, I think one of the most important things, again, that Nigerians are very much interested in is knowing if there will be a change. So for how long are we going to watch to make sure that these newly appointed ministers are actually going to do something, do exactly what they will do? A couple of their resumes are pretty good based on their background, but are they going to do the work? Like you said, would they be a good way to implement whatever bill that they'll be passing based on their own sector? We're just going to be...
Maybe then they pass Bishop, National Assembly.
Right.
So
Minister, at the end of the day,
they have to work closely with
them. So at the end of the day, it's just for us to be hopeful, because I don't know if this is going to solve the problem that we have right now. Because we have huge economic problems, and if changing the ministers will help us at least get a little bit closer, because I know that solving it 100% is not what we are looking out for, at least ease the stress a little bit.
I was just going to ask, though, that I'm wondering what consultation would have gone through in these things. So, for instance, this minister for Niger Delta, the development, right, that was now the ministry in itself that was changed to the regional Ministry of Regional Development. What's the rationale behind that? What's the brain? What's the thought process behind that? You know, because again, if you also change Ministry of Sports, or I think there was a merger, Ministry of Tourism and Arts and Culture. No, let me stick to the Niger Delta one. What is the rationale behind changing it into the development,
Ministry of
Regional Development? What would that mean? I don't even know what that means.
So initially, I think it was called Nigeria Delta Development. Ministry of Niger Delta.
That's what I'm saying. So why would they change it to development? What do they call it? Regional Development? Ministry of Regional Development. What does that mean? What was the essence of the Niger Delta Ministry in the first place? Is it not to control all the issues that are around the Niger Delta, their resources and all of that? So when you now put it regional development,
so they've expanded it to other regions.
That's what I'm saying. So what would it cover? How would they do that? Would you still have one minister? Because this, when you say region now, it is no longer a state. It's different regions across across different states in Nigeria.
They might have figureheads eventually. Well, I guess that as time goes on, obviously they've just been newly appointed, so all their, manifestos and everything that they want to promise us, they will start rolling out. Hopefully they'll start rolling out their plan very soon, and we'll be able to get some insight as to what exactly they want to do, because some of these things are quite baffling in terms of it's just the change. Maybe over time, I don't know the reason behind it, and we're not very good at explaining things, being very explanatory. Even governments, they'll just give you surface level and just tell you this is what we want to do, and no matter how much we shout and back about it, we eventually just submit.
At the same time, I think we can be positive about it.
Yeah.
If the government has decided that, oh, okay, this is, what they've done, let's hope that it's for the benefit of the country. I don't think they will just come out and decide to bring new ministers, you know, if nothing was wrong. So the only issue we're having is that there's no transparency in why is this being done, why is this person chosen, like what basis are these decisions made. But if the government or the president has come out to say this is what it is, I think we can be positive to say, okay, change is constant, there will always be change. Let's hope that this works out and this is positive. So I mean, yeah.
You're speaking to Nigerians that are traumatized by
We're
different
all traumatized, my dear. You cannot afford not to lose. You cannot afford to lose hope. So like hope is the only thing that we're holding on. If
at this point, you know that Nigerians are hanging on a thread right now.
Okay, like if the thread cuts, what's going to happen? We've been hanging on thread for like God knows how long. So like, can we just understand that yes, we're on the thread and let's just keep hoping at least we'll move up on the thread, guys.
I see why people don't like to watch the news because
positivity.
What?
So ministerial duties in Nigeria typically leads. The minister in Nigeria typically leads ministries and advances the president's agenda in those ministries, and their duties would be developing and implementing policies, programs, projects within the ministry, and they stay up to date with issues affecting their areas and come up with solutions to address them. So the first thing that we need to also look at is that these issues around the petroleum industry, for instance, maybe because we do not have a minister for petroleum, maybe that's why we're still having issues, right? So some of the challenges that we are facing, humanitarian, for instance, I think they've replaced Beta Edu as well. She was part of the people that were sacked, right? It means that if we have the right people in those departments, right? Some of these things that we're fighting about, we're crying about, the power situation, the light situation, energy situation, food crisis, and all of that, they actually have the power to be able to change the direction. You know, they also prepare and manage the ministry's budget. This involves determining funding and also placing priority, right, on allocating resources and ensuring funds are utilized properly. They balance the needs and the demands of different departments and programs. So when we're complaining and we're shouting, for instance, about certain things not being paid attention to, so for instance, healthcare, as so they are crying and shouting and all of that. If there's a budget, for instance, for education, it is the job of those ministries to ensure that, you know, whatever it is that the budget is, we first of all itemize what are the critical problems right now we are facing in Nigeria. Then you know what, you place priorities on those things, right? The fact that we're not seeing things, it seems like we're not seeing things working, it means that we have a default system. So maybe that is what the president is trying to correct by appointing these new sets of people to say that, okay, you know what, let us change and reshuffle. You cannot be crying foul when we are still using the same people to run the system, right? So my question would be, what exactly are the criteria for that qualifies you to say, okay, you know what, I want to give you this very critical position to manage? Because these are people that can actually change the direction and change the course of things, right? Supervising permanent secretaries and directors of ministry, they delegate responsibilities to them, but still monitor their performances and their performance of the performance of the ministry in general. They also report to and advise the president and the cabinet. So all they shout, they shout, say hunger they land, hunger they land. It means that some people are not telling the president the things that he's supposed to be hearing. Do you understand? Maybe they're not saying the right things. You were asking the question, why are we doing the reshuffling? Those are probably the reason they must have considered to say, you know what, Nigeria is in a dead situation and it doesn't seem like things are actually moving. So maybe we should just look for new sets of people and shuffle it and see, you know, if these new sets of people will be able to deliver. The reason that everybody is praising Obasanjo's government is not because of Obasanjo. He just had a great eye for quality people. Do you understand? He was the one that brought Dora Akunyili, Okonjo-Iweala, he had very smart people on his team. El Rufai, he had smart people on his team. So it seemed like, he had the best team. There is no way you can run a government without the right sets of people. Do you understand? And the only thing, again, I want to also give credit to Obasanjo for what is also give them the liberty to work. So it's not just about, it's not about saying that you have put a fantastic team together. If you do not give them, if you don't empower them to do the job, unfortunately, it's as good as having, what's it called, airheads there, because they will not be able to deliver. Yeah. So, I mean, everything that has to do with, what's it called, ensuring that the people feel what it means to have good governance. It's a collective work. I don't even want to rest it alone on the ministers, because even they also oversee drafting and passage of bills related to their ministries, right? They work hand in hand with lawmakers and legal experts to create legislations and align with the goals of their ministry. So these are responsibilities that is needed. So when you then look at all these people, the new sets of people that they have called to say, okay, these are the people that are being replaced with the, the old set of people, what is the credential that qualifies them to be on this list? I think I'm tired of, first of all, federal character when it comes to ministerial appointments. I'm tired of just appointing people because you feel that these people are loyal to you, because I feel like Betta Edu's appointment, for instance, she was loyal. But she's not on this list. Is it that she's not there? Because I saw somewhere that, she was also replaced, But hey, but I'm saying that loyalty, do you understand what I'm saying? That because somebody is loyal to you, that's why you're appointing the person. No. We do not prepare for governance in Nigeria. Do you understand? We don't prepare for leadership in Nigeria. Leadership just happens on you. So you are not prepared. You don't even know what it is. I was speaking to someone the other day, and the person was saying that a lot of these lawmakers that we call lawmakers, they don't even know half or 1/3 of what the law is supposed to look like. So is it these people that will now go say they want to represent you? Do you understand? So we need to be very intentional. I would really, really love to see where, the government will back the reason for the selections and the exit. Because it's not just enough for you to say, okay, this is why I'm appointing Mary to become a minister for luxury. They first of all need to give us, yes, now, it's a ministry. She needs to give us why is Mary, they need to give us why is Mary the person that we have selected. These are the things that qualifies Mary. Then, of course, the reason you are sacking these people is because you have realized that you made an error. Yeah. It's failure. You understand? So you realize that, I think this is a misfit. You also come out and explain to say, you know what, guys, we thought we could pull this off with these people, but these are the gaps that we noticed. These were the loopholes that we noticed. And based on that, these are the replacements. So this person is going to, so what it means is that for this loophole, this person has this to block it. This person has that to block it. Then when we start to talk those kind of conversations, we know, okay, yes, we don't dare for, you understand? But it be like this now, we just dare. So Iman Suleiman Ibrahim now, she's replacing the Minister for Women Affairs. So she's now the new Minister for Women Affairs. I
thought it was Bianca. You
said? No, it's not Bianca that replaced her. That was what I was trying to explain to you, that it was not Bianca.
So what is Bianca?
So I would really look forward to, because she's the current Minister for Police Affairs. How well has police done? Do you understand? How well has the police done? Now the thing where they talk, no, not just see, I don't want us to have conversations and we're not even asking the right questions. Yes, you have replaced her. How well has she done as the police affairs minister for state for police affairs?
And I think, for me, I think it should go beyond maybe positions that they've held in the past. It should be more about their achievements.
That's what I'm saying. Show walking.
If you were given, if you've ever been maybe president of an association, what did you do during your time? It's like a CV. Yeah. That's what we should be pulling up.
It's not even
just telling me, oh, you were president of this. Okay, while you were president, what did you do? What new innovations did you bring about? What did you do? How did you take the association or the company or wherever you found yourself or the agency from one step to maybe step 3? By the time you were leaving in 5 years, you had achieved this, you had opened that, you had set up new policies, you had set up new guidelines. Do you understand? That is what we're supposed to be seeing. Most of the time when you see things like this, you just see, okay, they went to this school, fine. Then you just see you just see the setup of their CV.
Your resume, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a setup. Okay, I've worked in. You now call like top companies. Maybe I've worked in Vodacom. I've worked in Etisalat. I've worked. What did you do while you were there? Did we?
What are your numbers?
Yes. Was that the period where you were taking from 2G to 3G?
No, because guess what, NJ? This thing you are saying. If you want to go to another company now tomorrow,
is your achievement.
Do you understand? And you say you want to go and get a new job. What are they asking you for?
Yeah. Achievement.
They're not telling you to show us CV. No, when they are interviewing you, they will tell you, paint a scenario. You understand? What there was a problem in your organization, your previous organization. How were you able to fix that problem? Do you understand what I'm saying? You had a target. How were you able to meet those targets? What were your strategies? What did you do differently? Do you understand? That is what we should be seeing with this ministerial list. It's not enough for you to just announce. Because look at the things I have read about the overview of the ministerial duties. These are not small things. These are things that you have to do a lot of deep thinking. So it's not just saying you want to just give people positions. It's a nice to have, right? Just throw it to them. But this woman, when she did for police affairs now, for instance, now, what did she do while she was at police affairs? That now says, okay, I think based on maybe her what's it called? She has this
experience.
No, not even that. She has the ability to bring, what's it called, emotions into the work. She brought a human face to the police affairs ministry. That is what we're trying to now bring into the women affairs ministry. No such thing like that.
Or even the women in the police force.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Whatever it is, safe. Even if it's not just women, because she was catering to the entire police affairs. What did she do differently? The same guy in what's it called, the education guy now, the one that is replacing the education minister. That one, I'm wondering how him, a medical doctor, what qualifies him to become what's it called, the minister for education? Do you understand? Let us start to strip it, and then.
Is he a doctor?
Even the lady you were talking about, the police affairs, well, in her last place of work, I think she was in charge of a national agency or something. But she was removed. It stated that she was removed, I think, a few months into the job. So you can't have that kind of qualification and you're telling me that, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there has to be some level of something that you've done to show workings. Like, that's what we call it. You have to show workings.
Well, Uwa made mention of something which I think just says it all, that leadership is being handed to you here. So the way they choose leaders in our own country is different. So I guess that's why we don't have that transparency of, so culture as well matters. So I guess it's not our culture to show workings of what you've done. So it's the same thing if you're going for an interview and if you're going to a company, there's some people that some employers that will not care about what you've performed on the other job. I think not care, but it's like you come and you can do. I would say for like a sales job is like, it's how someone fresh from NYC, like you don't necessarily, but it's like, let's see how you can perform on the job. If you say you can perform, it's one department I think you can like freely move. For me, or that's what I think. So like you would perform. If you perform, nobody is asking what you've achieved. Like it's how I'm giving a response to how it's easy to break into it. So somebody who is fresh out of school, NYC, you have no work experience, you have no other thing. But most people are always easy to give you a chance because it's a sales job and it's a thing of numbers. Either you're performing or you're not performing. There's no,
And once you are in there, they give you a preparatory period.
Yes, yes. So if you,
I was just going to say to you that I don't want to call the exact company name. I was in a meeting with some guys, and the guy says he calls himself the cleanup man. You know what the cleanup man does? The company is dying. The company is at that verge of like everything is just collapsing, and it seems like they're not getting the numbers anymore. These are like old companies that have been there for a while, and all of a sudden their numbers are dropping, right? And they're falling. New competitors are coming. So guy calls himself a cleanup guy, and you know what he does? He will come in, he'll dissect the problem, look at the problems, and says, "Okay, you know what? I think we can fix this, fix this, fix that." He then goes and now headhunts. Do you understand? He headhunts you. Alero, go and deal with partnership. You deal with all the, that. So he knows specifically that he has identified the problem, and he then brings those key people to say, you know what, come and head this space. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? There is no way that company will not do well. So imagine if we start to treat Nigeria like a company. Do you understand? Nigeria is a failed state. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a failed state. We've seen some sectors that are currently really, really doing badly. You understand? Our education is almost comatose. Always having strikes here and there. Healthcare, the same thing. So what you're supposed to do as a leader, you are the cleanup man. The president is supposed to be the cleanup guy. You know what? These people here in this ministry, they are not doing work. You know, who are we? Who is the best person that can go and look for the best person and say, put the person here? Do you understand? I am tired of seeing lists that I cannot see whether this person has the capacity or the competence to be able to do the job. You know? So you have to look at it to say, you know what, this country must not fail, right? This company must not fail. We must become profitable as a country. Who are the key people that we need to put into these key positions and then clean up the entire system and let these people do the job? That is the approach.
Yeah.
So anything other than that, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's high time we get competent people, not a matter of, oh, you may be able to perform. Because it's just like on LinkedIn when people announce their new jobs, you will see other people attesting to what they have done before. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I know this person is good at this, so I know you are going to be in good hands. That's not happening with these guys.
Absolutely.
Nobody is. And I was like, could be this one.
It also goes hand in hand with them being empowered, because sometimes they come in there with good intentions, they have the right, you know, they know what to do, but then if you're in a situation where the company or the nation itself is stifling because they have what they're going to gain from stifling you and not empowering you, so you keep failing.
I get you. We will hope them that they succeed, and we wish them all the best. The education minister, my eye is on you. Now that one concern me, because we need to educate our children. We have 20 million. In fact, your first assignment, we have 20 million out of school children, right? If you can reduce that number, then I will know that you are working. It's a simple thing. Like Nigeria probably know how to identify. So once you are working, we will know that you are working. Thank you, ladies. Before we go, ensure you follow us across all our social media handles and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, if you missed our quote for today, here it is again. It says, it is the definition of a feeble minister if he blames the civil service for not delivering his policies. So apparently the minister is not supposed to have an excuse. That's what this quote has just said. I'm just hoping that they're able to work hand in hand. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Hey guys, it's Oluchi for Raise Breakfast. Thanks for always tuning in. Our research has shown that you're probably not subscribed to our channel. What are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our latest content and stay in the loop with all things Ways. If the channel grows, it means more great content for you guys. So hit that subscribe button now.